Thank you for coming today to celebrate the YPI final presentations at Crestwood Preparatory College. My name is Avery, and this is Albert, and this is Zidane, and we are the hosts today. CBC has been participating in YPI for over 20 years. In that time, CBC has donated over $100,000 to charities in our community.
Our agenda today is as follows. We will first outline the YPI process so that we all have a better understanding of how we got here today. We will then listen to our 3 presentations. Following the presentations, the judging panel will take a few minutes to deliberate and decide which charity will earn the $5,000 grant. While that is happening, Mr. Mariano and the band will entertain us. Once the judges deliberate, we will announce our big winner. Before we do that, we'd like to do a land acknowledgement.
Land acknowledgements, also known as territorial acknowledgements, are short statements that recognize both the land and the Indigenous people who lived and in many situations continue to live on the land before Canada's colonial history. They offer a short story from the standpoint of the Indigenous people who grew and evolved from the land. Land acknowledgements have been subject to much discussion and critique in line with their relative newness. However, Indigenous people are not asking for their demise. Rather, they are seeking to make them more present, heartfelt, and historically accurate, namely, more meaningful. The artwork on this slide is by Métis artist Christy Belcourt. It is called Our Lives Are in the Land. In her artist's statement, Belcourt says, "The plants are teachers, they are connected, and all other spiritual beings through the sacredness of life. When I remember who I am, a human being connected to all of life, I remember also that I am loved by the spirit world and our ancestors. And when I remember this, I remember to respect even the smallest of things." Crestwood lies on the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat people. Today, this territory remains home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit, and the Williams Treaties, signed with multiple Mississaugas and Chippewa bands.
Before we get into the student presentations, we want to share more about YPI. YPI was founded in 2002 by the Toasting Castle Foundation to help grow compassionate communities. It's a program where youth, schools, charities, and funders work together to support local charities and vulnerable people through grants and public awareness. With over 100 schools across Canada participating, the impact and reach of YPI is incredible. Through the work of the students at this school, nearly $500,000 is awarded to charities across the country each year. YPI is an opportunity for students to step out into the community and learn about the different social issues people are facing. Students also learn about the valuable work charities are doing to address these issues by selecting local charities to research, visit, and advocate for as part of the presentations delivered in their classroom. Grade 10 students have been working on their projects since mid-February in their careers classes. These groups have had the opportunity to visit their chosen charity and learn more about them. They then presented their charities to the classroom, and the final 3 were selected by Mr. Smith and Mr. Crane.
Now, to get to the reason why we're here today. Get ready for some great presentations from these students who worked hard to research and advocate for their chosen charity. First, we'll have Eva's Initiative for Homeless Youth by Ainsley Points, Sarah Yu, and Sarita Zan. Then we'll have 360 Kids Support Services by Lauren Lee, Jessica Im, and Lucy Terziewski. And third, we'll have Jesse's Place by Charlotte Tom, Kathy Yu, and Jessie Sue. Let's give a big round of applause to these finalists.
As a friendly reminder, being a good audience member is an important part of presentations. Please give these students your attention and respect as they share what they've learned over the course of the project. I would also like to acknowledge our esteemed judging panel. The panel consists of students and faculty members. The students are Ava Porter, Kayla Gavari, and Yoga Todd. Joining them from the CPC faculty are Ms. Diuz and Mr. Grackles. Thank you all for your support today. We would also like to thank Mr. David for all of his hard work setting up the sound and display equipment. Now, to get to the reason why we're here today, get ready for some great presentations from these students who worked hard to research and advocate for their chosen charity. To start off, let's have Ainsley Points, Sarah Yu, and Serena Zhang to present about EVA's initiatives.
Imagine being 16 years old with no place to sleep, no one to call for help, and no idea where your next meal is coming from. For thousands of youth in Toronto, this isn't a nightmare, it's their reality. Hello everyone, my name is Sarah.
I'm Ainsley.
And I'm Serena. And today, we will be presenting our YPI project, a EVA's initiative for homeless youth, a charity that's changing the lives of youth across Toronto.
An anonymous source wrote, "Homelessness steals more than just a roof over their heads. It robs young people of their chance to dream, grow, and thrive." How would you feel if you were robbed of all the opportunities leading you to be in this room today? If you were forced to worry about your next meal and a safe place to sleep at night? Youth homelessness is an important social issue with increasing numbers each year, caused by an affordable housing crisis in Toronto. Housing is harder to find, and therefore youth are spending more time on the streets. 85% of youth experiencing homelessness in Canada face severe mental health challenges, with 42% reporting at least one suicide attempt. However, this isn't where the health challenges end for many youth. Many struggle from substance abuse and addictions. Homelessness is a denial of basic human rights, and when youth specifically are put onto the streets, they have gone without the basic developing and nurturing they need to survive.
Homelessness affects not just individuals, but the entire community. Youth experiencing homelessness often need more support than adults, placing a strain on social and emergency services. Due to this additional use of resources, there's an economic impact on the community, as there's an increased demand for housing, employment programs, and financial aid. As most youth do not have access to primary care providers, it impacts public health. Additionally, life on the streets can be dangerous, with some youth facing challenges such as substance abuse. Founded in 1989, EVA's welcomes and supports youth from diverse backgrounds, include racialized, 2S, LGBTQ+, and more. This nonprofit is the first in Toronto to focus on youth homelessness, supporting those aged 16 to 24. The organization offers safe shelter, balanced meals, health service, life skill training, and employment support. Even after leaving the shelter, youth continue to receive financial assistance, physical and mental health care, and access to essential resources like EVA's community preparatory, ensuring long-term support on their journey towards independence.
EVA's is currently spread out amongst 3 locations, each providing unique services. Their first location is EVA's Place, which is an emergency shelter for youth, providing them with essential services. Additionally, EVA Satellite is a long-term care motel, which recently underwent a major renovation, upgrading their building to now house 33 beds. This location is in partnership with ICHA, a community-run program providing physical and mental health services. Last but not least, EVA's Phoenix provides transitional housing for many youth in townhomes. While there, youth receive employment training, which helps them to eventually receive entry-level positions. They can also receive work experience at their very own print shop. EVA's all money made at the print shop is put back into the services at EVA's. Once you have finished their stay at Phoenix, they can enroll in EVA's Youth provides continuity of care.
EVAS has a proud 30-year-long legacy of supporting homeless youth in Toronto. It was first founded in 1989 by Jamaican immigrant Eva Smith. Then, in 1994, its first location opened, called Eva's Place. To honor her vision and impact, the organization was officially renamed Eva's Initiatives for Homeless Youth in 2001. In 2023, 465 youths have found shelter at Eva's. EVA's always had a clear mission to stop and reduce youth homelessness. Their vision is to create a future where every young person has a safe place to live and the chance to grow into a strong, independent adult. EVA's follows 5 main values: inclusion, respect, empowerment, teamwork, and speaking up. EVA's doesn't just offer short-term help. They focus on long-term support by solving real problems and giving youth the tools they need to build a better future, which align with this quote on their website. EVAS is committed to fostering an inclusive and equitable environment for all youth.
EVAS is powered by the incredible people behind the scenes. With over 120 full-time staff and 90 part-time staff, there's a strong, caring team to help youth every step of the way. Over $8 million go towards fair pay for the essential work they do. Every volunteer and staff member plays a key role in helping youth move towards brighter, more independent futures.
At EVAS, their mission doesn't stop at providing shelter. It's about building lasting change. In the short term, they're working to grow their Youth Belong program, which helps young people transition out of shelters and into stable housing. They also hope to increase emergency shelter space, so no youth is ever turned away. Looking ahead, EVAS is pushing for long-term solutions by advocating for more government funding and better policies to support youth homelessness. And even after youth leave the shelter, EVAS stands by them with financial, physical, and mental health support, making sure they're not just surviving, but thriving. When communicating with our charity, we found out that we couldn't visit the charity in person because EVAS works with young people, and keeping their information private is essential. So instead, we did an online interview with this lovely woman here, Ms. Leche Whiteman. She told us that working at EVAS isn't just a job, but it's something that she cares deeply about. What makes the most to her is knowing that someone might have gone down to the wrong path if they didn't get help. She shared that many youths returned to thank the staff and showed how much their lives have improved because of EVAS. This really showed us how much a difference EVA is making in the lives of young people.
We chose EVA's initiatives because youth homelessness has not received enough awareness. EVAS doesn't just provide a temporary fix to homelessness. They work on long-term solutions. EVAS provides essential services that help youth gain independence. They have a proven track record with many youth transitioning into stable housing and employment. Their mission aligns with our values of creating lasting change and supporting vulnerable youth.
EVAS is responding to the crisis of youth homelessness. They support over 200 youths across 3 sites, and 465 youths are housed in their shelters. Through their Youth Succeeding in Employment program, 31 youths have found employment. Their support mainly caters towards marginalized groups. 78% of their youth identify as racialized, including 43% who are Black, 26% that identify as LGBTQ+, and 14% who are refugees or refugee claimants. These numbers highlight the impact of EVAS and why continued support is so important. One of the reasons we trust EVA's initiative is because they share a yearly report that clearly shows how donations are spent. This helps make sure that nothing is hidden and everything is used properly. In the 2022 to 2023 year, as you can see here, 30% of their funding came just from donations. This money will go straight into programs that helps youth find housing and jobs. And the rest of their funding, 66%, 4% came from the Toronto shelter and support services, and the last 4% came from sales at Eva's print shop. They also have an outside expert to check their finance every year through something called an independent audit. This shows that they really care about using every dollar wisely. Meet Misha, a resilient fashion student at TMU from a minority background, who was juggling school, rent, and rising living costs. It was tough, and she found herself in a situation where she couldn't make ends meet. That was when she found Eva's, and everything changed. With support, resources, and a community that truly cared, Misha found her footing. Now, she's about to graduate, thriving with a bright future ahead, and a supportive community she found through Eva's by her side.
Some people believe that youth choose to be homeless, or that they simply don't want to work. In reality, this is far from the truth. Many youth have experienced family conflict, abuse, and systemic issues beyond their control. EVA's initiatives works to break these harmful stigmas by providing education, advocacy, and programs that address the real causes of youth homelessness.
In conclusion, the 5,000 grant would play a crucial role in helping EVA's initiative continue to support homeless youth, especially because EVA doesn't just support youth in general, but groups that are racialized and too as LGBTQ+, and more. However, in recent years, as EVA told us that housing price rise by 30%, the need is growing, but the wait lists are getting longer. Many youths arrive to EVA's with nothing. This grant will help provide food, hygiene items, and warm clothes, which are all basic things they need to survive. EVA's Phoenix offers job training programs that help youth learn skills and gain independence. More funding means more youth can access to these programs and build a stable future. A lot of the youth at EVA's have experienced trauma and mental health struggles. This grant would help fund counseling and wellness programs, giving youth the support they need to heal and to move forward.
We believe EVA's initiatives has the power to make a lasting impact on youth homelessness. By supporting them with this grant, you are investing in a brighter, more independent future for these young people. This money will help EVA's continue their incredible work, transforming lives and providing hope for the future. If you wish to contact EVA's, here's their information. Thank you. Well done, Ainsley, Sarah, and Serena. I would now like to call on Lauren Lee, Jessica Ng, and Lucy Terzeski to present about 360 Kids.
Good morning, everyone. I want you to take a moment and imagine you've just come home from school, tired from the day, but instead of a warm meal or your family waiting for you, the house is empty. You check your fridge, there's no food. You check your phone, no messages. You feel alone. Now imagine something even harder. What if home wasn't an option anymore? Maybe due to family conflict, neglect, or aging out of foster care. Suddenly, you're expected to manage on your own without any support. No food, no money, no safe place to stay. For many of us, this is just a difficult scenario to picture. But for hundreds of youth in York Region, this is their everyday reality. Tonight, hundreds of youth in York Region will sleep on the streets. Many of them are fleeing unsafe situations, and instead of finding safety, they find cold sidewalks, dangerous alleyways, and a system that far too often looks the other way.
But let's be honest, youth homelessness is not a choice. These children did not choose this life, but they were failed by the system and people put there to support them. It's created by unstable environments, unhealthy families, unhealthy and reality, social structures. It's created by family conflict, abuse, poverty, mental health struggles, and especially just aging out of foster care. These children are not given the support they needed, and these small little details could affect their entire life. And it might be hard to believe, but in Canada, 20% of homelessness is in between the ages of 12 and 24. And it doesn't just affect where you live, it affects your education. It affects you physically and mentally, and especially your emotional state.
These youth struggle to find the basic necessities, like food, shelter, and safety. They also have limited access to education, employment, and face many mental health struggles. This doesn't just affect them, it affects our whole community. Higher rates of crime, unemployment, and healthcare costs put pressure on our society. When the youth don't get the help they need, it affects everyone. But here's the problem. What they need is bigger than the resources they have. That's where 360 Kids comes in. 360 Kids is an organization that refuses to let kids fall through the cracks. For over 30 years, they've been more than just a shelter to some people. They're a lifeline. Their overall mission is to prevent homelessness by helping youth transition to safety and stability. They offer transitional and emergency housing, making sure no child has to sleep on the streets. They offer employment programs to help youth build careers and escape the cycle of poverty. They also provide mental health and wellness services, making sure that their well-being is just as important as their housing. And through educational programs, they give youth the tools they need to build a better future. 360 Kids provides support for over 3,000 people in York Region alone. But their impact stretches far beyond that, because when you change one life, you're changing generations.
And especially, let's talk local. 360 Kids is a very local program. It's situated at 10415 Yonge Street in Richmond Hill, in the GTA and York Region. This is a drop-in center. They're home base. This is where many people work to help give support to almost over 150 kids every single month.
Around 1989, a group of women came together to create an organization called Pathways. It was a program designed to help the homeless youth. Initially, it was a drop-in service, not a shelter, but they still had the same intentions. In 2009, the organization changed its name to 360 Kids and evolved into a multi-service agency. This change allowed them to offer more than just support. Kids can now eat, sleep, receive education, counseling, and job opportunities all in one place, helping them gain the tools they need to build a better future.
But it's not just another social issue. It gets overlooked and it gets neglected because of the ongoing stereotypes and stigmatisms around it. Like, they're lazy or they made bad choices. But honestly, how are you supposed to get a job without an address? How are you supposed to go to school without a proper place to sleep? And how are you supposed to dream about your future when all these kids are dreaming about how they're going to survive through the night? So stop judging and start supporting. 360 Kids doesn't see these children as statistics. They see them as people with dreams and passion and potential, just like all of you. And that's their mission, to surround kids with crisis with care.
360 Kids has nearly 200 staff, including part-timers. Together, they work with their supporters to give back to the community. They serve 3,000 youth in various capacities and locations, making a significant impact on the community around them. The long-term goal of 360 Kids is to help the homeless youth become independent and build their own stable future. They focus on bringing awareness to youth homelessness and the challenges that these young people face every single day. By providing access to education, employment, and housing, they give youth the tools they need to break the cycle of homelessness. In the short term, 360 Kids focuses on providing immediate emotional and physical support. They offer a stable source of food and shelter, ensuring that their basic needs are met. But most importantly, they create a safe environment where youth can feel secure and supported as they work towards a better future. So why did we choose 360 Kids? We chose 360 Kids because they provide support for youth facing homelessness. Their programs go beyond immediate assistance. They address the root causes of homelessness and provide long-term solutions. With a strong commitment to equality, diversity, and inclusivity, they make sure every young person has the opportunity to build a better future.
But it's not just about the programs. It's also about the people that help and work in these programs. We had the opportunity to meet with their mental health team, Marcy, Brian, and Leah, as you can see in the photo there. They play an extremely important role at this drop-in center. They give mental health resources, counseling, and especially guidance to these young children in hard times. They help with trauma, anxiety, and depression, and all kinds of mental issues and struggles that these children are going through. They help pave the way for the future generations, and help create new pathways and new futures, and help those who can't see the future find a way.
360 Kids relies on a strong community of support and generous donors. Unlike many organizations, they don't receive funding from federal or municipal governments. They receive a portion of their funding from the York Region government, along with several other organizations that believe in their mission. Key supporters include the United Way of Greater Ontario, Ontario Trillium Foundation, the Home Depot Canada Foundation, and Hockey Helps the Homeless. These partnerships allow 360 Kids to provide essential services, such as food, shelter, education, and job opportunities for the kids in need.
But where do these funds go? Especially, these funds are found in these programs like emergency and transitional housing, which offers these children a safe place to live, which is just the bare minimum. It also helps with employment and life skill programs, where they can have mentors and people that work for the association to help them find their way through the workforce and find their way to a successful future. They also have mental health and wellness support, as we talked about before with their mental health group. They give counseling and along with mentorship and a lot of hands-on help with their mental struggles. And they also include educational support to help these kids find a pathway to a brighter future. They give tutoring, resources, and ways to go to school.
So because 360 Kids is a nonprofit organization, the $5,000 grant would go directly to support the youth living in their residential programs. The funding would provide each young person with something that they want to do, something meaningful, like a dinner or a day dedicated to their well-being. For many of these youth, moments like these are rare, and this grant would help them create a sense of recognition and support in their lives. You can help by donating food, clothes, and hygiene products, or by volunteering as a mentor. You can join programs like the Youth Ambassador Program or the Corporate Group Give Program to support the homeless youth. Remember that every contribution makes a difference. Right now, there's a young person who feels unseen, but we see them, and we want to make sure that they know that they aren't alone. If you have any questions about 360 Kids, you can email them on their social media page, phone number, or visit their home base location.
And today, we're not just asking you to support them. We're asking you to stand up, to believe in second chances. We want you to choose hope. 360 Kids is ready to fight, but are you? Let's change lives. Let's give every child a safe place to live. Thank you.
Great job, Lauren, Jessica, and Lucy. I now call upon Charlotte Tong, Kathy Yu, and Jesse Zhu to present Jesse's place.
What would you do if you found out you were pregnant at just 16? Who would you turn to? For many young girls, the answer is no one. Study shows that only 40% of teen mothers graduated from high school, and nearly 30% of them live in poverty. Without any support, many of these young women and their babies are facing an uncertain future. But there's hope. Good morning, everyone. My name's Charlotte.
My name's Kathy.
And I'm Jessie.
And today, we're super honored to introduce you to this incredible organization, Jessie's Place. And here's our table of contents. I will explore the struggles teen mothers are facing, the life-changing support offered by Jessie's, and how we can make an actual difference.
And now, for an overview of this issue. So, the idea of teen mothers simply just means any intentional or unintentional pregnancy of a teenage girl. That ranges anywhere from ages 13 to 19 years old. The social stigma surrounding teen mothers is what is actually the social issue and not teen pregnancy itself. Teen mothers are often judged and misinterpreted by their surroundings, making it difficult for them to carry on their lives, even under substandard conditions. Therefore, it is important that they are offered the help and resources they need, as they may be overcoming the obstacles in their lives. Now, why is this issue important? Well, young mothers are often left to struggle alone, facing deep mental and emotional challenges. The fear of judgment keeps many away from help. Beyond stigma, they face financial hardships, limited opportunities, and the lack of resources. The most crucial step is changing how society views them, offering not judgment, but the guidance and respect they need.
And as for the population impacted by this social issue, the statistics reveal the serious challenges faced by teen mothers in Canada, with 4.1 among 15 to 19 years old per 1,000 females. And mental health is a significant issue, as 2/3 of young mothers reported at least one mental health problem, and 9.8% experienced depression during pregnancy, which is nearly twice the rate of older mothers. And from 2020 to 2022, fertility rates among young women aged 15 to 24 more directly shows that Canadian teen mothers need to receive more attention.
And now we'll be providing a little bit of information about our charity, Jessie's. So where is Jessie's located? Jessie's is located in downtown Toronto, and they're very easy to spot with a beautiful mural.
And here's a brief history about Jessie's Place. Early in 1982, Jessie Center for Teenagers opens. Later in 2008, it becomes the June Caldwell Center for Women and Families. In 2012, the nursery becomes Jessie's Parent-Child Center with an emphasis on infant mental health problems. And further in 2017, Jessie's launches a radio show, Powerful Ex-Nature, hosted by their participants. And in 2022, with a bright future, they release new mission, vision, and value statements to guide their next 40 years.
So now for their mission, vision, and value, their mission is to support pregnant and parenting young women with the tools and services they need to thrive. And for their vision, they try to envision a future where all young families are connected, supported, and empowered. And finally, for their values, they try to provide feminist, inclusive, and accessible care that champions choice, equity, and independence.
Now, for a visit at Jessie's Center. So as you can see here, in the first picture is a picture that all three of us took in the main area of Jessie's Center. And the picture at the bottom is a picture taken with Robin Pate, who is a teacher from TDSB currently teaching at Jessie's Center. And lastly, the picture taken from this beautiful mural is with Rosa Duran, who gave us a lovely tour of Jessie's Center and answered any questions we had. And here are all the pictures that we took on our visit to Jessie's, and in the top left corner, as you can see here, is the belly casting and posters and other artistic activities that young mothers have participated in. And on the bottom left corner is clothing racks, which is their swap shop, and we will be going into detail about that later.
So what do Jessie's do? Jessie's is a drop-in multi-service program that is dedicated to supporting all young mothers and their children. Counseling and case management. So Jessie's provide individual counseling, advocacy, and referrals to other services. Their approach ensures all young mothers receive wraparound support, helping them make informed decisions about pregnancy, personal goals, and relationships.
Education is a major focus at Jesse's, that they offer grade 9 to 12 credits and help young mothers reintegrate into mainstream and post-secondary education. Individualized education plans are designed to meet each student's unique needs, ensuring they receive the necessary support for both academic and personal success.
Now, for the food programs provided by Jesse's. So, Jesse's provides daily meals including breakfast and lunch for all participants and their children. Dinner is also available on Monday and Tuesdays. Additionally, the Food Connect programs gives 12 participants monthly access to essential food items and connects them to community food resources. The center also hosts food banks and donation drives to support those in need.
And now for their health programs. Jesse's health program is designed to meet the needs of all young mothers and their children. Participants have access to free pregnancy tests, prenatal vitamins, and feeding supplies. They may also see a family doctor weekly through Jesse's partnership with the Inner City Health Associates.
Finding a stable place to live is hard, and Jesse's helps by looking for rentals, talking to landlords, and helping with housing applications. They also teach about tenant rights, solving problems, and avoiding eviction. One former participant said that getting help with daycare and housing really helped my mental health a lot.
Now, for the practical support that Jesse's provides, as mentioned before in the pictures, the swap shop at Jesse's offers free donated items such as baby and maternity clothes and toys and essential household essentials, allowing young mothers to shop for themselves and their children. Additional support includes free public transportation tickets and emergency supplies. According to the 2022 participant survey, 93% of those who used the swap shop were able to access the resources they needed.
So now for their staff, we have our board of directors, Joanna Mendes, who is the executive director at Jesse's. We also have Faith Hashett, who is the director of programs and operations at Jesse's. And for our staff team, we have our lovely guide, Rosa Duran, who is the outreach community education program coordinator. And we have Robin Pate, who is the teacher from TDSB. As we mentioned, Jesse's do offer a school systems for all young mothers who is currently pregnant or parenting.
Now, we will be sharing with you two stories of the young mothers who have received help from Jesse's. The first story is a story of bravery. So during our visit at Jesse's, we had the absolute honor of hearing from a young mother, sharing her story. She had left school after grade 9 at 15 due to pregnancy, and though unsure how she had found Jesse's, walked in and received help. Her daughter still to this day remembers staying at Jesse's as a toddler. She received schooling there for a couple months before returning to regular high school and completing her secondary education. She later went on to achieve a bachelor's degree, followed by a master's, and later a PhD. She found her passion in social work and returned to Jesse's, helping others who are facing the same challenges she once faced.
And now we would like to share another story. So Heidi was a 17-year-old girl, and she was 8 months pregnant when she arrived in Canada from Ecuador in 2016. But she quickly found herself living in an abusive environment with her father. Struggling with her mental health, she turned to Jesse's, where she was immediately connected with a Spanish-speaking counselor and support groups to help her heal. Jesse's empowered Heidi by informing her of her rights and giving her the chance to make the best decisions for herself and her daughter, Gabriella. Through prenatal, postnatal, and personal development programs, along with ESL and high school programs, Heidi began to build a new life, forming new friendships, and joining the Jesse's community.
The importance. At Jesse's, diverse young women come together to form a vibrant and supportive community, and for many, it feels like their second home. Through Jesse's services, they meet the complex needs of mothers 21 and under, helping them and their children grow. Parenting groups foster connection and mutual support, while community education challenges stereotypes and promotes understanding. By offering high school courses, Jesse's empowers young mothers to gain independence and build brighter futures.
Now, why should you choose Jesse's? While Jesse's has long supported young mothers, the funding remains a challenge. They aim to assist women beyond their early 20s, as the need for help does not stop after you turn a certain age. Every contribution brings them closer to expanding their support and making a greater impact. Now, the most pressing issue Jesse's faces is the limited housing they can provide. While they have 7 floors of housing for young mothers, it is not enough. There's one housing counselor, Alice Cooper, who helps the young women find affordable housing and accompanies them to meet with the tenant. There is only so much one person can do. As much as a wonderful job she is doing, more help is still needed.
And finally, Jesse's make a real impact. As an incredible charity, Jesse's do their best to support young mothers with housing, education, mental health support, and a community to rebuild their lives. This is also why we chose Jesse's. Therefore, $5,000 means a lot to them and the young mothers community. Help Jesse's take one step closer to expanding their reach and ensuring no young mothers is left without support.
And finally, the conclusion. As people who are closely connected to this issue, what can we do to help these teen mothers out of their plight? And at Jesse's, you can actually make a real difference. Volunteer your time and donations help support essential food programs, clothing, and housing for young families. And your support also helps eradicate the stigmas and stereotypes teen mothers are facing, creating a more inclusive community. And together, we can provide a safe and healthy environment for all. So join us in making a lasting impact.
Now, to top everything off, we'll be ending with a quote from Julie Collwood, the founder of Jesse's. Never in my life have I done anything I am more proud of, other than my family, than Jesse's. Her passion for Jesse's changed countless lives. Let's not let her legacy fade. Every young mother deserves support, hope, and a chance at a brighter future. Together, we can ensure that Jesse's continues to be a lifeline for those who need it most.
Better understanding about the social issues surrounding teen mothers. Thank you for listening.
Wow, those were some incredible presentations. Let's have another round of applause for all of the speakers. Thank you, finalists. We applaud you for rising to this important challenge. It takes courage to stand up for something you believe in. Today is about our community. It's about understanding the real social issues that people are facing every day, and about learning the vital role of local charities and the services they provide. It's also about reflecting on our part in making our communities more compassionate and caring places for everyone to live. At this time, our judges will deliberate and determine which charity will be receiving the $5,000 YPI grant. Thank you, judges. In the meantime, I will turn things over to Mr. Mariano and the band.
YPI this year. But we'd also like to thank the YPI teachers, Mr. Cram and Mr. Smith, who encouraged and led the students through this project. Through your efforts, you have set an example to each other about how to engage with the issues around you in a meaningful and critical way.
And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. The judges have determined that Eva's initiatives are the winners of the 5